Adriana.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to another exciting season of Two Moms in the Kitchen.
This season is sure to bring you some great new recipes, many tips and tricks for working in the kitchen, a whole lot of good conversation, and a great deal of fun.
We know that the world looks a little different now, but we hope that we can bring some joy and laughter into your home each episode.
We are so excited to be back. All right, hello and welcome to today's episode. Today we are making vegan sticky sesame chickpea dish. Try say that 10 times fast. So what you're going to need is 2 cans of chickpeas that have been drained and rinsed. So that's what we have in the colander here. We're going to start by sauteing our garlic. So it calls for 3 cloves of garlic. So we're going to do a teaspoon equals a clove rationale here. And we're going to get that in a pan, and we want that to become fragrant. So we're going to give that a little stir. Let's see here, we'll grab this. So just to heat that up and stir it around, and then we're going to add either olive oil or avocado oil. And for that you want approximately, let's just see here, a tablespoon of it. So we're just going to add that in, as well too.
Having difficulty with the equipment today.
Yes, it's one of those days. Nothing wants to cooperate. There we go.
Should probably replace that. That's been in place for about 10 years, so I got a new one.
Okay, so we're just going to turn it up just a smidge. You don't want it to burn, but you want it to heat up and to start smelling delicious, which it already does.
It's not hard with garlic.
No.
It cooks so fast.
Definitely. Okay, so it says to give that a couple of minutes, so we'll let that cook for a couple of minutes and then we'll come right back. Okay, so while the garlic is cooking, we're going to make our, I guess I know this as a slurry mixture. So slurry is usually cornstarch and then liquid, and you whisk it together. It helps with thickening. So this recipe actually calls for arrowroot powder, which can be difficult to find, and not everybody has that on hand. So we have looked it up, and you can definitely substitute cornstarch for arrowroot powder in a 1-to-1 ratio. So just straight substitution. So you're going to take 1 tablespoon of it, and cornstarch is always very, very messy. Okay, and then to that you are going to add 2 tablespoons, there we go, of vegetable broth. So because we're doing this vegan, we want the vegetable broth. Now, if you aren't concerned about it being completely vegan, then you could definitely use chicken stock if you've got it on hand. So we're just going to whisk this together just so that it's all combined and there are no lumps. It's the trick with a slurry is that you do not want any lumps in there.
And with the extra cornstarch, you can make a little fun sensory bin for your kids.
Definitely, yep. Or great for shortbread.
Oh, yes.
Christmas coming up.
Yep. And this slurry will also thicken up any stew or soup or anything that you want to, anything you want to thicken up a little bit. That's all. It just thickens it up to a point and you're happy with it.
That's right. Okay, so now that our garlic is sizzling and fragrant, now we are going to add all of our yummy smelling ingredients. So first of all, we have either tamari or soy sauce. So we've got soy sauce that we're going to use, and we're going to use 1/3 of a cup of that. And we'll add that to the pan here. Oh, right, it's got one of those tops.
Oh, yes. So
we might be here a little while. Here we go. Almost there. Okay.
There you go.
So this is why we want to make the slurry to thicken up all of these good recipes. I'm just going to turn this down a bit because we're starting to smell a little bit. Okay, next we are going to add the toasted sesame oil. And for that we are going to use, sorry, there's lots of numbers here, so I have to figure out. There we go, 1.5 tablespoons.
So this isn't toasted sesame oil because they did not have any. So use regular sesame oil. And I actually love using sesame oil in recipes. It smells so good when you're putting it in. It makes the recipe just a top notch.
And again, like we've always said, use what you have. If you don't have something, then substitute it out. That's not a problem. In baking, it tends to be a little bit more because baking is a science, so you want to keep very close to the recipe, but with cooking, you can definitely substitute things out. Okay, after that, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. So that's already been measured out here. And I mean, everything is better with maple syrup. All right, so that's in there. Next, we are going to add the rice wine vinegar. And we're going to use 2 teaspoons of that.
Oh, that smell is amazing.
Yes.
Holy moly. I would just drink that sauce. Or, you know, you can make some fresh spring rolls.
Oh.
Have that as the dipping sauce.
Delicious.
That'd be amazing.
My stomach is growling already.
Yep.
Okay, so next we're going to add the ginger. So strangely enough, they call for 1/3 of a teaspoon, which surprisingly Adriana had.
Yay.
Thanks to the Betty Crocker.
Right, again, I have an addiction to anything in the kitchen, so if you want it, I'd probably have it.
So if you don't have 1/3, get as close to it. You could use a 1/4 of a teaspoon would be just fine.
And just do a heaping one, you'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and lastly, we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of the vegetable broth again. So what we did was we just made a large measuring cup of it, and we've just been using that. That seems to be the best. Okay, so we've got this lovely, yummy sauce here. You can see that it's really liquidy, so that's where that slurry is going to come in to help thicken that up. Okay, so we've got that. So now what we're going to do is, just going to whisk this one more time, and then we're going to add this in. There we go. And now we're just going to whisk it around.
And it thickens fairly quickly.
It does, yeah. We want to get it all incorporated in there. And you get an arm workout doing this.
There it is.
Yep, there we go. The heat combined with the cornstarch or the arrowroot mixture thickens it all up, just like that. Ta-da, it's magic.
Look at that. Oh, that looks delicious.
All right. I think that is good. So now we're just going to leave this for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. We just want to turn it on to low and just let it do the last little bit of thickening. And we will be right back. Okay, so it is nice and thick now. So what we're going to do is add our chickpeas into that. So in they go. And now what we're going to do is just move them around so that everybody gets coated. You don't want any of this delicious flavor escaping. So just be gentle and just stir it all around. If I was a fancy chef, I would try and flip it, but that would make a big mess. So
I'm not a fancy chef either.
No, so we're just gonna do this. Just keep moving them around. Get them all coated. There. All right. So we're going to leave this for another couple of minutes, just so the chickpeas warm through and the sauce gets everywhere. And then we will come back to show you how to plate it. Okay. So we have let this sit for about 5 minutes and everything is nice and coated and smells divine. So what the suggestion for serving is to serve it over either brown rice or quinoa. So we have done some brown rice in some vegetable broth. So that's in the bowl here. And now we're just going to scoop some of our lovely mixture. You could also add broccoli or green beans to it for a well-rounded meal here. So there we go. Doesn't that look delicious?
Perfect.
Smells amazing. And we hope that you give it a try. If you do, give us a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment as well. And like our page, and we'll see you next time.